Michigan was greatly involved in the Civil War. More than 90,000 Michigan men served in the war, which is nearly a quarter of the state's population in 1860. There were very many troops made up of Michigan soldiers, including the 24th Michigan Volunteer Infantry, which was a very important element in the war. There was a very strong Union brigade called the Iron Brigade. They consisted of the 2nd Wisconsin, the 6th Wisconsin, the 7th Wisconsin, the 19th Indiana, and our very own 24th Michigan. The brigade was under command of Brigadier General John Gibbon from Pennsylvania, who is now buried in Arlington National Cemetery. The Iron Brigade were very strong. They are said to have got their name during the Battle of South Mountain. When Confederate General George McClellan asked Confederate General Joseph Hooker, "What troops are those fighting on the pike?" and General Hooker replied, "General Gibbon's brigade of Western men." McClellan then stated, "They must be made of iron." To this, McClellan said that the brigade consisted of the best troops in the world. Yes, our Michigan troops were part of the best in the world. The Iron Brigade were also called the Black Hats, or the Black Hat Brigade. They were called this because they wore these black hats instead of a normal Union kepi. This is a normal Union kepi, so you could tell if you were part of the Iron Brigade by the hat you wore. If you were wearing this normal kepi, then you could tell that you were not part of it. During the Battle of Gettysburg, the 24th Michigan lost 80% of their men, which is the highest percentage loss for any Union regiment in a battle. The Iron Brigade fought only in the Eastern Theater. One of those battles they fought was the Battle of Gettysburg. At the Battle of Gettysburg on July 1st, 1863, at around 10:30, the Iron Brigade defeats Archer's troops at the beginning of the clash. Then they're forced to retreat and pushed back through town into Cemetery Hill. Then, later on, they rally all the Union forces for the next day's battle. On the second day of Gettysburg, July 2nd, 1863, the Iron Brigade had suffered so badly on the first day that they just helped defend Culp's Hill. But on the third day, July 3rd, 1863, the Iron Brigade were heavily engaged in battle. They were on the front line, the receiving end of Pickett's charge, a very deadly charge led by Major General George Pickett. This is a diagram of Pickett's charge. The black arrows are Pickett and his men, and the Iron Brigade are the blue blocks. Now, it says the 1st Corps, which is the Iron Brigade, and they're right up in the first line, the defending row against Pickett's charge. By the end of the long, violent Battle of Gettysburg, the 24th Michigan had lost 80% of men overall. The Iron Brigade had lost 63% of its men, or 1,153 of 1,885, and those were all lost at Gettysburg. Just one single battle, and most of their men were gone. They were a very hard-working group. Our own Michigan soldiers were quote-unquote the best in the world. You have to be very proud of these men. They did a very great job at Gettysburg and the rest of the battles they fought in. They really were an Iron Brigade. Here are the websites that I used. I hope you enjoyed.